Okay, if everyone can just mute themselves besides Nikki. Hi, everyone. So this is the team. There's probably going to be a couple more people jumping in. Um, but if everyone could just hit their mute button so there's no feedback for her or whatever. Okay, so let me just start off by saying, Nikki, I'm so excited that you're here and to even meet you. Like, if you guys don't know Nikki, you need to. She is one of the top coaches on our team, and I've been really girl crushing on you for a while. And like,
Aw.
I mean, I used to be a kindergarten teacher and I know you used to be a teacher. So I just really resonated with everything you've ever posted and, just really exciting that you're leading this call. So I will let you kind of take over. And if you just could share your story and where you started. And then I think she's going to go over her top 10 tips, right? And then maybe after we can do a little Q&A or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
So I apologize. I got a spray tan and then turned orange. It's like the worst timing ever. I'm like, why is this happening right now?
It's okay. You're beautiful.
So anyway, I'm like, you know what? Everyone else going to be sitting on their couch doing their own thing. It'll be fine. So thank you for having me, first of all. And Jamie, I know you're a newer coach, but nobody can ignore the fact that you're crushing numbers right now. And so it's really inspiring to see a newer coach come in and just killing it with, Success Club points and stuff like that. So congrats to you guys with that. My name is Niki, for those of you who don't know. And like she said, I was an elementary school teacher. I taught for third grade the majority of the time, and then I got pregnant with our first daughter, Wesley. And as soon as I got pregnant, it was like this. I have an anxiety and fear and depression is kind of something that I battle. And coaching has helped with that. But I try to share that openly because I feel like a lot of people struggle with anxiety and don't really talk about it. And so when I got pregnant, my biggest anxious thought was, now I'm going to have to go to school and take care of other people's kids while I take my brand new baby and put them somewhere else. And it just gave me this overwhelming sense of anxiety of what can I do that'll be different than that? And I talked with my husband a lot about just different options. And at the time, he didn't make a ton of money, but he had a really solid job. And we were like, we'll make it work. We'll figure it out. And it was going to be worth it for us to do that rather than him try to live with me through the anxious moments. So that's what we decided. And then eventually I would go back to substitute teaching was kind of the thing. So in walks Stephanie Chico, who is my upline coach. And so she is the same. Megan Tucker is my, we have the same upline. And I knew Steph because our husbands played professional baseball together at one point. And she messaged me out of nowhere, 6 months postpartum, and was talking about these challenge groups, how great they were. You should do it. And of course, I was the girl that was like, Shakeology's too expensive. I already have a program I got on eBay. I was the world's worst customer. Just because I simply didn't get it. I didn't get the business side of it, obviously. And so I said, sure, I'll do it and just see what happens. And dove in, got results, and started to share a little bit on social media. And that's when she reached out and started to ask me about becoming a coach. And at that time, I had started to substitute teach a little bit. I was also exclusively breastfeeding. So I was pumping on breaks, and it was exhausting. Getting home so tired and just, I was grossly underpaid, private school, you know how that goes. So I just thought, I feel like I could do this and at least replace some of the subbing income. And I would, at the beginning was I can't drink Shakeology right off the bat, but if I could make a little bit of money, then I'll invest in that. So that was kind of what happened. And it almost started with this, I'll be a discount coach kind of thing out of fear. I'll just see what happens. And that was the third time she had messaged me about coaching. I looked at my husband and said, I do like the products. I would like to try Shakeology. could we just see where it goes? And he was like, you know what, I'll support whatever you want to do. He was super skeptical. But he said, you know, I've seen them have success, so let's just see what happens and give it a little bit of time. And, you know, you're not stuck there. And so that's kind of what happened. Long story short, I jumped all in, ran my first challenge group within that first month. Beatnik is our team is Beatnik Dynasty. We're now a 4-time elite team, superstar and diamond coach, and then Million Club. So a lot has come from that. Let's take a chance on this whole Shakeology thing and just see where it goes. And it's just a really big blessing. And I'm very thankful that Steph had the guts to reach out, because I know a lot of people's fears are reaching out and inviting people to this opportunity. But you can look back to examples like me, who probably never would have reached out to her had she not approached me about it, and now it has completely changed our family's life.
You guys are building a house, right? Like a brand new
Yeah,
house?
yeah, we're building our dream house. Obviously would not have happened, not anywhere near as soon as this, at least. And then it's a smaller things, really. Like we have a really bad public school system, and so to be able to choose where we send our daughters to school wouldn't have been an option back then. And so to be able to choose that, and you know, taking them to Disney, or just things that I always dreamed about being able to do, is a big blessing, thanks to coaching. So here we are.
So cool.
And I just want you guys to understand too, I do have some notes, but I'm like all over the place when I look at notes, so forgive me if I'm kind of back and forth. But I do think there's something to be said that, like, not everyone that signs up has a great team. And it's a blessing to have someone like Jamie, who is trying to set up these calls, trying to get them going, getting other people's and other teams, essentially. I mean, I'm down, you know, in the downline. We're so far apart, but essentially on the same team. And just to get a different viewpoint is so cool that she's offering that. And so if you have, you know, those team pages and places to go, I know you've got Megan as well. And so I do know that there's like structure and some things there that are available for you guys. And the number of people that reach out so often and say, I have like zero direction, I have no place to go, I don't have support. So like to have these trainings and calls and everything is just extra. And that is why I really want to kind of start off with saying that, because I'm going to talk tonight about being present on social media, about being present within your team, and within your coaches' teams. And so I kind of wanted to start there. Just kind of your presence overall in your coaching business at any level. So I'm going to bring you like my top 10 tips to focus on leading into this new year that we've started, and now it's like already February 20th, and go back and forth with those. So the very first thing, and this kind of goes with 1 and 2, is your mindset. And I know you're going to hear that all the time, but different leaders have different takes on it. And I will tell you that there is really nothing better than seeing a coach, especially a new coach, who starts to step up and post immediately, like in team trainings and in team pages, whether it is them being obnoxious with the amount of questions they ask. Like, I don't care. Like, bring it all. Like, the fact that they're engaged and in the group asking is what you want. Like, you want an active team that wants to learn the business and wants to grow. And so maybe you're sharing your inspiration, your personal development, motivation, things that are working for you. Like, don't be afraid to start doing that now. Because what happens is this is when we're going to see who's going to run with the business and who's going to hold themselves back. So if you are one that's like really nervous about that aspect of it, I just beg you to change your mindset with that. Maybe you're, secretly messaging your PS coach or whatever it is. Like, dive into those team pages and really put yourself out there as a leader early on, no matter whether you have no coaches or you're a diamond coach or whatever it is. I'm not sure where the spectrum is with this group that we're talking to, but I do think that a leadership mindset really starts in the beginning, and your team is going to see you that way really early on. So if that's something that's outside of your comfort zone, then I just really encourage you to one of the personal development books, Eat That Frog, like just go ahead and do the thing that you don't want to do and go for it. And this is going to go kind of hand in hand with that. But I want to talk about just being present in those pages. Maybe you don't always, comment and like things, and that's okay. But if you are someone who is in the groups and you're loving the value, but you haven't spoken up, your upline wants to hear from you. We want to see who wants to take that leadership role. If I see someone coming in and commenting or going live and sharing a tip, I want that person to help me run a Push to Emerald group or a glance into coaching or share their story, in one of those pages. Those are the kind of people that I'm looking for, because I want skin in the game with my coaches early on. That was the biggest thing for me, was my coach Steph being like, hey, you want to just hop on this glance into coaching web? Back in the day, it was like you phoned in and called this number conference line. And I was so scared. And I'm like, I don't have any value. Like, I've only been a coach for a few months. Like, what am I going to be able to say? But that's what people want to hear. They want to see the new coaches that are getting started and how they're starting their businesses and how they're running their businesses, because those are going to be the ones that lead the way, years down the road. So, if you are kind of starting, I want you guys to know, like, we're all starting on the same spot. We all started from the same place. And there are others who are going to succeed in this business and blast off, and others that are going to go slower. And a lot of that is just getting out of your own head. To be honest, a lot of it is just deciding that you're going to succeed and deciding to stop telling yourself that you can't do this or you can't do that. And the comparison game that everybody has done at some point. Well, she signed up when I did, and look what she just did. We've all been there. And so you have to remember that you have to build your business, no one else's. And there's actually a ton of power in that. So you should be looking to create templates when you can, find meal plans or create those if you don't see ones that you want, and share those with your team, because what you do needs to be duplicatable for your team, which I'll also talk about. So don't be shy. Show that you're a leader. If you have coaches on your team and you aren't active in any of the coach groups or consistent on social media, guess who's going to follow your lead in that? Your coaches, unfortunately. So be the coach that you would want your coaches to be. Make things that are going to be useful for your team for months to come, and just really step up and ask your coaches to do the same. I think that they would probably be scared a little, but also very excited, and it's going to push them outside of their comfort zone. The third thing is attitude and personal development. So you can probably guess what is going to be immediately noticeable to me when I am chatting with someone on a one-on-one call, or I see them posting in a team page. I am either going to know right away, it's going to be extremely noticeable that they either are doing personal development or they have not done a lick of personal development. And I used to be the one that I really thought I could just do away with it because, who has time for personal development? That was my mindset. So it's like if I had 10 minutes to work on the business, personal development was just not making the cut. And I hate that I had that mindset in the beginning, because I really see now just the importance of doing that early on. As a leader, which you should see yourself as one, whether it's leading your challengers, inspiring followers as an influencer, or, you've got a team of your own. You're always filling everyone else's cup up constantly. So we are always trying to answer the hard questions, realign people and get them back on track, trying to build everybody up, share what's working, encouraging others to stay on their journey. But we have to be fulfilled. We have to be filled. We have to be fueled first and foremost before we're able to give back to anyone in any kind of capacity. So if we aren't putting ourselves first and motivating our own selves, gaining knowledge ourselves, then we can't possibly be the leader that we want to be to others. So I encourage you guys, pick up a freaking book, pick up a podcast, go to a YouTube channel. I overheard her talking about that right when I popped on, and just dive in, like on your way to work, on your way home, when you're folding laundry, like whatever that has to be for you. But do that, stick the ear pods in your ears right now and walk around and get the house stuff done, like whatever it is that you've got to do to just make sure that you're getting that time in. Because what happens is when you're going to realize once you start to do that, you actually are going to have more value to give to people. Like I might have come on this call and been like, what can I even share that's going to be of value had I not filled my own cup and figured out like what works for me and what works for my business. So you're going to have honestly so much more to post about. I know a lot of coaches are like, what am I even going to post about on social media? If you're doing personal development every day, something is going to be like a light bulb moment that you're highlighting or whatever you do for your personal development. That's like, that was so good. I want to share that. And you can simply share that on social media as one of your posts, you know, so put it with a cool picture of you or whatever and personalize it. And that's going to give you value that you can share with your followers. You'll also have great quotes, that, like I said, that are going to stick with you. And then you're going to have those tips that you can give to your team. And so honestly, if you're looking in like an umbrella of your business, 80% of your time, believe it or not, still needs to be focused on your own journey and your own business growth. And that can be very hard to do as you start to grow a team, because all you want to do is pick apart everything you can do to help every other coach and what can I do to be better and what can they do and what's going wrong and how can I fix it. But you have to be working on your own journey first, because I mean, I know I went through a spell of just like maintenance mode and I started focusing on my team. I'm very much like, I teeter-totter. I'm like all the team and then nothing with me, or all me and then like not a lot of focus on team. I really struggle with the balance of both. And so I've really been trying to focus on my own journey, especially with 80 Day Obsession. And I just feel better about the business in general because I'm so involved in the program. So think about, you know, your own journey and where you should be allotting your time. Number 4. Okay, so number 4 is going to be all about social media presence. And I shared this on a call, I don't know, a couple months ago, but I want all of you to look at your social media pages. Look at, I mean, we have a ridiculous amount of Facebook trainings and Instagram trainings and things you can find on Facebook and on Instagram and on YouTube. But look at your Facebook page, look at your business likes page if you have one, your Instagram, whatever your social media platforms are, and take a step back and see what you come off as. Like, how are you coming off on social media? First of all, are you consistent? Consistent meaning that you show up. When I first started coaching, my coach was like, post 5 times a day. And I'm like, I don't even have 5 things to post about. So the good thing is that's changed. And I don't believe that you need to post that often. If you are, you probably don't have enough quality content to even, I mean, for me, it was like I didn't have 5 quality things to share every day. So I usually post like once, maybe twice a day on my Facebook and Instagram pages. And then I love stories right now with Instagram. So I will share throughout my entire day all about, you know, just a day in the life, my pre-workout, the supplements, the workouts, kids, just mom life in general, like when I'm cooking, whatever it is. And that's an easy way to just show my lifestyle there and then keep my page really clean and just kind of looking the way that I want it to look. So just think about that, you know, posting and commenting on things to be involved and seen. But the other big thing is your attitude. You know, I think you don't realize that this is now kind of like your brick and mortar. Like if you were to have a storefront, this is your storefront. And so you're your own brand, and your attitude is going to either push people towards you or away from you. So if you're looking, you know, through a looking glass at your page, is it something that others would find inviting and valuable, or do you tend to be negative a lot? You know, maybe you honestly don't even realize it, but if you were to go back to your pages and take a look, you'll get an idea really quickly of what kind of vibe you're giving off. Is it your posts, or are you sharing other people's posts? You want it to be your content, so make sure that it's clean and just looks aesthetically pleasing, because there's so many pages out there. People are going to go on to the next thing if they don't enjoy viewing it. So think about whether or not they're going to draw your customer in, and if you were a customer looking to do something new or maybe to get in a group, are your daily posts something that are going to attract them to you, or do your posts draw them further away from you? How genuine are you in sharing your journey? Do you talk about your journey and share you, or are you just constantly trying to sell the products on your page? Maybe you're someone who got started and without even knowing it, you're mimicking a lot of other coaches. That doesn't necessarily doesn't ring true to who you are. Maybe because you're just not sure what to do yet, and that's okay. But you want to make sure that what you're sharing is true to you, because you're going to attract your tribe according to how your post and your vibe is. So it needs to be the genuine, authentic you, or you're going to have people on your team that you're like, how did they get there? Like, where did I go wrong here? What's going on? So think about that as well. And then as far as, how to post, I always tell people your page should never be an ad for Beachbody. Beachbody sells itself. Beachbody has its own products. You are branding yourself. Why does someone coming to your page want you as a coach, you as a friend, you as a community, this tribe, versus someone else? So think about that. And it should honestly be like 80% you and 20% business. Okay, so when you're thinking about, I know in the beginning I was like, look at my shake, look at my, everything was just, it was all Beachbody, and my time hop is great about that. I'll share in my team pages all the time. I don't know how I was successful because that was posted 4 years ago, but we all start somewhere, and we're all going to make mistakes as we go, but just, learn from those people who have gone before you and said that doesn't work. And just focus on your brand and then incorporating in the business. So you need to look at those things, and you should encourage your coaches to also look at their pages and just see what can be tweaked. I was just talking about this, but I was going back to when I first became a coach and just looking at some of the things that I'd done, and there were so many things that failed. But we really do have to fail in order to move forward and to succeed in any kind of business like this. If you're afraid of failing, okay, so you just don't do anything because you're afraid of failing, you're not going to succeed. There will be so much failure with success in this business. And my dad, he was the biggest skeptic of all. When I called him and told him, oh yeah, by the way, I also joined Beachbody, he's like, what is that? Network marketing? Oh my God, Niki, I can't even believe you did that. Those were his words in the first 30 seconds of our conversation. He eats his words now, but he once said to me back in my teaching days, when my anxiety was through the roof, he was like, Niki, what would you attempt to do if you knew you were never going to fail? And he ended up getting me a little coffee mug that said that. And I just looked at it so often early in my journey, because I know I would do a lot freaking more if I knew I couldn't fail. So, we're meant to do big things. We're meant to be successful and have great things happen to us, but we have to move the wheels forward in order for that to happen. So I'll tell you one thing that I always did from the beginning, and that was to get active and be present on Facebook, in the team pages. If you see yourself as, a diamond coach, or down the road, I want to be this star diamond or a 5-star diamond, you need to see yourself there now. Just like you hear people say, run your business like it's a 6-figure business now, long before it is. You need to see yourself that way. So you should already be posting as though you're that star diamond coach. Post in that way. That includes social media, that includes coach groups. When I first became a coach, I had a few coaches on my team. I brainstormed with them a lot. They were kind of naturally my success partners because I was really learning alongside them. They signed up fairly quickly after me. And so we were just learning kind of side by side. And if I didn't understand, I was totally okay with saying, girl, I don't know the answer to that, but let's find out. And we would have brainstorm sessions in a message thread. We did small little groups. We got on Zooms. We came up with cool team ideas to do together. So I pushed them, but I also let them push me, and it was great. Number five is to be duplicatable. And Micah Folsom and I spoke at this on Summit this past year. and I've heard a lot of coaches talking about it recently. But it's so important because it means that you're making it easy or easier for a coach to duplicate what you're doing as a successful coach and a leader. So when I look at my team page, my trainings, I want to know that my coaches can take valuable information away from those, the documents, the files, the templates, to help make things easier for them so that they're working smarter and not harder. The last thing I want people to do is to be like spinning their wheels, reinventing the wheel, like recreating something that's already there and works. So we all know that our time is precious in the business, and so we need to be able to have that duplicated. When I say that, I do not mean copying other coaches' work. I mean being you and sharing with your team what you're doing daily, your power hour, whatever it is that they need to be doing, like something like a new coach welcome email. I mean, that is as plain as day, like basic information. Give that to your coaches when they sign up and be like, look, tweak it a little bit, make it yours, and move on. It's like there's nothing that really like that needs to be like wildly reinvented. Mm-hmm. So this should be something that is not too overwhelming that a busy new coach doesn't think that they can't live up to it. That's what you don't want, is for them to come in and be like, I can't do what she's doing, because you want to say, yes, you can, and here are the tools to do that. Number 6, visualizing. So sharing what you want from your business and sharing that in groups. Put out into the universe what you want out of your business. So if you haven't made a vision board or something like that, I would venture to say that should be your next personal development like kind of thing that you go for, or homework this week, is to make a vision board on PicMonkey. It could be old school crafting style, like whatever you want. Put it as your desktop, hang it up, like whatever you want to do. But you want to be thinking ahead of time in that way. I will touch just a little bit on visualizing and how I did it. So for me, I visualized like where I wanted to be at certain points in the business. So we're, 5 months out from Summit. Anybody on here going to Summit?
Well, there's a lot of really, really new coaches on here. Just to give you like a little background. There's like
earning that success starters.
Yeah, a couple success club hitters. But there's some people like day 1 and some people month 3. So very new coaches.
Sweet. Okay, cool. So you could be earning that free ticket. But I do know that Summit was like game changing for me. It was incredible. I watched and stalked the first year. And then the next year went. And then the next year spoke. And it was just so wild to watch, like how it grew. I mean, it grew insane in like 3 years. But I just remember being like, I'm going to be there and I'm going to be walking across the stage. And I visualized like what I wanted to happen. And so if we're like 5 months out, I would say in 5 months, I was diamond. I think it took me 4.5 months. What did I say? 4.5 months to go diamond. But think about, where do you want to see yourself walking across the stage? We have those, like, I don't even know what they call them, little things that hang down and have like your badge and your like accomplishments and stuff. So if it's diamond or like whatever rank it is that you want to be noticed at, then you want to make sure that you're thinking that far ahead, like visualizing in 5 months, where am I going to be? And then you have to think about all the details, like the entire team being there, everybody cheering you on as your announce, visualizing where you want to be at that point. What kind of leader am I going to be? And then what will your income be? Like all of those things. And you have to kind of do that in order to see the possibilities. And do that daily if you can. It could be in the shower. It could be before bed, before you, while you're doing personal development, before you dive into your work, like your power hour or whatever. But try and see that if your outlook on just life in general doesn't change the way that you kind of look at things when you start to do stuff like this. And personal development is really good for that. Number 7 goes hand in hand, and that's goals. I write my goals down by holidays or big life events. So for example, like where do I want to be with my rank and income by, I do it almost like quarterly, by the Success Club trip, because it almost seems like all Beachbody things go in quarters. So that's usually around March or April. So it's like, okay, where do I want to see my rank and my income at that point? And then I look at it again and I think forward to Summit. Okay, Summit's usually around July. So that gives me another quarter. And then I think about it again. Leadership is in October. Some of the new leader conference or whatever would be in January. So think about your goals in that way. That's kind of how corporate had me break them down in the beginning. And I loved that because it was like almost by holiday or whatever. And I could see quarterly what I was trying to accomplish. So if you need to reverse engineer those to see what kind of specific goals that you have laid out, and the last thing you want to do is be like, well, I hope I hit blank rank, but like I have no idea how I'm going to do that. Say you don't just put it out in the universe. You have to have a plan. So if you don't have a plan, you need to create one. I'm going to be diamond. I'm going to make $500 a week. Here's how I have to reverse engineer. How much do I need to sell? What does my team volume need to look like? How many coaches do I need to have? And like start strategy. And then number 8, what is holding you back? What is holding you back from being, putting yourself out there and just going for it? And we talked about this a little bit. You have to start treating your business like a 6-figure business long before it is. Like for a lot of people, I know they're afraid to post. Why? You're going to get crickets on your post. Nobody's going to say anything. When I first began posting on social media, first of all, I had no Instagram, and my Facebook was very small because I had just started it 6 months prior to do like private pictures of my daughter. And so I got crickets. I got crickets on the posts about my coaching opportunity. I would do shout outs for my team, and the only people that were like, yay, was like Stephanie Chico, because she was my coach. And it was like, I do public recognition, there'd be like 5 likes, and it was like the 5 people that I was shouting out. And that's just the way it worked. Because I knew that people needed to watch me for a while. Like they wanted to see, they wanted to know I was serious. They wanted to know I was going nowhere in the business. And so I had to think about that. And I did let it get me down, but I didn't let it hold me back. So just decide now that's going to be the time that you're going to invest in your business, your coaches, your challengers. So if you're on this call and maybe you haven't publicly shared either a transformation or your story, like why you became a coach, I want to see you do that today, or, not necessarily today, but this week. And then you could tag us and we will be more than happy to support you under that post. But it's all about doing those scary things, like just doing them, you guys. Hit post and walk away, but just do it, because this start to a new year is huge. I know you hear people talk about the beginning of the new year is going to bring so much momentum going into spring and people want results. But you really have to understand, like, your focus when you look at your calendar should be as far ahead as, like, when is the to be mindset releasing? I think it's like in April. So, like, are we looking that far ahead as to how we can start talking about that in March? It should be you're thinking about all the different releases and how can I create momentum leading up to that, so that you're not looking at the launch like, well, that was cute, but I did nothing to prep for that, so nothing fun is happening for me with that launch. Launches are only as big as the coaches make them. Okay.
I think that's really quickly that we have like a lot of the fear factor going on in the group, not with everybody, but there's definitely some fear holding people back, and as it was with me when I first started. So I guess, what you said is just, that's something I really try to focus on, is like, you have to be willing to push past it, because you do. You're the only thing getting in your own way. And I think everyone has always felt that way, or the fear, Yeah.
I mean, and you committed to yourself as a challenger in a challenge group, right? So like, and how has that lifestyle change impacted your life? Like, it's impacted your life or those around you, like, greatly. So why in the world are we not all committing to this as a coach and a business plan the same way that we did as challengers? We have to. It makes no sense. Okay, and I'm like running out of time, so
so am I. It's okay, go for it.
So I want to talk about just celebrating success. I'm going to skip through this a little bit, but I know that I used to dread Thursdays sometimes, because I would be like, oh, look at her, she advanced again, or this person is up on the board again, and look at what she has, 100 Success Club points, But here's the thing: we are a team. What she does, what I do, what someone else does is all good for the team. all of it is good. We should be celebrating all of it. So don't compare yourself. Comparison is going to be the thief of all your joy in the business. So if we can do this better as a team, start celebrating other successes, pop in on Thursdays and get excited to show people love, because you're going to have that great Thursday one day and you're going to want people to show you all that love. So make sure that you're taking that time to celebrate, and your time will come. And then last but not least is number 10, and that's just being present using your past. So I say take what you've been through, see the rainbow through everything that you've been through in life, maybe your journey. Maybe you have some things that you've been through. Like, I can promise you that everyone's why is really powerful. But take those negative things that have happened to you and use those to drive you in a positive way in your business. Be vulnerable, share troubles you faced, how you overcame those, how did that help you, with this business? How do you use that now for good and to be a positive light for other people? But you have a powerful story. We just have to figure out what that story is, and it's capable of changing a lot of lives. But you just have to decide that enough is enough. I'm not going to be the bystander. I'm not going to watch the other person soar when I know that I can too. And you're just going to do it. And that is it.
Thank you so, so much. Does anyone have like a really quick question? Like, we can just do 1 minute maybe of question Q&A.
Yeah, as long as we're not getting kicked off. I saw a countdown.
We were, and then I just upgraded. So, thanks to my Beachbody coaching paycheck, I upgraded to $15.
I did the same thing not too long ago.
Does anyone have any questions, or like, we have a quiet group, but does anyone have questions for her? I mean, she's just incredible. And what is this, 3 years, 4 years you've been coaching?
It'll be 5 years in May.
Okay. So, I mean, guys, $1 million earner in 5 years, I'd say that's exactly where I would like to be. I don't know about you. But does anyone have like questions, or, feel free.
Can you hear me, Jamie?
Yes, I think we all can.
Thanks, Nikki. That was awesome. This is Dawn. I literally
Hi.
She just signed on.
Literally, like, I think or whatever it was, a week ago. So
awesome.
So right now I've got a full-time career, but I need something else to give me energy. And so I'm excited to start doing this. So here's my question.
Okay.
Clearly, I have a career. I have 2 girls. I have a husband. And literally my core group that I'm targeting is really like the suburban moms that I live among. So do you have any advice for like kind of like the best ways to target? Because there's people out there selling Advocare. There's people out there doing like all the other crazy things that I've tried and quite frankly haven't had success with. This is the thing that works, and that's why I'm so pumped about it.
Yeah. I mean, your niche is definitely going to be the moms of the, 2 girl, or like whatever. Like for me, it's definitely girl moms or moms that want to stay home, teachers, like all that kind of goes in with my niche. So I talk to them a lot, like in my posts, not necessarily, in a private message or whatever, but when I'm speaking, because you're telling a story, you want to tell a story when you post. And if you can tell a story once a day, that post is going to give enough value for you to not need to post the rest of the day. So you want to think about that. And when you're thinking about that, Chalene Johnson, she always spoke at Summit and different events, but she spoke one time about how important it is, like if you're going live or if you're sharing, to always think about the top 5 people that are always going to support you no matter what when you're posting, and speak as if it were to them. And I think if you're trying to reach a market of moms, like suburban moms who work and whatever, I would speak always to that market in some way. Like, I get it, you're the mom who, like, and just say, like, because you want them to be like this, like, that is me. She's talking to me, and to think, like, I'm going to message her because that is exactly how I feel. So if you tried other products and other products didn't work, talk all about it. Like, you don't need to name names of products, but you can say, I am the girl who tried all the things. Like, I've been there. I have wasted so much money that I was like, not another thing to invest in, And then I tried this and it just worked for me because it's simple, it's this, it's that, like whatever it is, that's your reasoning for it working. I take it out the door and on the go, and like, we're going to kids events and dance class and dropping them off at school and like all that stuff. So for me, it had to be something that was not overcomplicated, but gave me all the tools I needed because I'm not a professional, So I don't know if that answers your question, but I think speaking to them that way, where it's like every time you pop on, you're like, okay, I'm trying to reach that person. So you don't want to try to reach the masses. If you try to make your posts like touch everyone, you're gonna touch no one. So just really think about like your specific niche, and that sounds like that's totally, similar to mine. But yeah, I don't know if that helped or not.
No, it did. Thank you.
Okay.
Does anyone else have any questions? You guys, this is like prime time question because, there's no one better to ask than her. But does anyone have any questions? No. Quiet group. Okay. Well, then I guess we'll let Niki go, even though I wish I could like just talk to you forever.
Yeah, we'll have to meet at Summit or something.
We will definitely meet at Summit, and hopefully other people on this call will be meeting you as well. Are you going to Riviera Maya?
Yeah, girl.
Okay, I'll see you there then.
Fun.
Yes, I'll see you. We'll meet then.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone else can stay on. We'll let you go. I just want to talk to everyone else for like a couple minutes. But
okay.
This really means the world to me, and hopefully everyone else. Thank you so much. I know you're crazy busy, so
I'm honored to be on. So thank you guys for having me and taking time out of your night and all that. I know we're all busy, so you'll
be getting a lot of followers, hopefully, because I'm gonna make all of them follow you because I love your posts and
tag me if you guys step out and like do something out of the ordinary and like you feel scary, just tag us. We will definitely show you some love.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Bye guys.
Thank you. All right. Hi, guys. Wow, this is the most we've had on a team call so far, and I'm really excited about that. I want you guys to feel like comfortable. Like this is not my team. This is our team, and I really want everybody to kind of like work together. I feel like I'm only posting in the team page. Like everyone is at different levels, whether you're brand new or you're 4 months in and you haven't touched the business or anything. I just feel like we can create something so huge. She has a team of like, I don't even know, 80 coaches right now. And they are just, every single one of them is 6-figure income. Like they're just crushing it. And, this is the start of something that could be really big. I know I'm staying in this for years and years. And I just would love if you guys like built this with me and wanted to, really be invested in it. So, I don't know. Does anyone have any questions or something to say or share or anything? Like, this isn't my team call. This is our team call.
I love it, Jamie. Thanks for setting this up because seriously, like I thought I was just going to do this kind of as a hobby, and now I'm intrigued. Like this is awesome.
You guys, if you haven't done research in the opportunity, like there's not one of her. There's thousands of her, okay, that have turned this business upside down and like ran with it. And it's like, there's just if you actually do your research, you're just like, holy shit, why not me? And that is something I say to myself every day. Like, I want to be Niki Whiting. I want that. If you look at her social media, you guys will be like, holy shit. Like they're building this ridiculous house. She was so poor 5 years ago. Like there's the opportunity is you guys have already signed up. So it's kind of like what you want to do with it. Like there's no more money invested. You're here and it's just about what we want to do with it. So I want to work and help you guys as much as I possibly can. But I want to meet you guys in the same capacity that I'm willing to go, like my coach, meets me where I want her to. So I want you guys to, tell me if you need more or tell me if I'm scaring you and you're not ready for that. Like I want to work with you guys, not like on top of you, So, I don't know. Do you guys have questions, insight, what's happening, like what's going on? Does everyone feel good about the challenges that we're running at least?
I feel great participating in them. I think I really identified with what Niki was saying about how I just feel like I'm still very much in that place where people need to see me doing it before they're willing to buy into ask questions about what I'm doing. So it's kind of hard to like, I don't know if it's working out, but I do think that I'm posting on social and I'm doing my personal development and all that. So I'm just like waiting to see it kind of kick in, I guess.
And that's honestly at the beginning of like the first like month or two, I felt like the same way. It was like crickets. Like I'm sharing this, I'm posting a workout video. No one's saying anything. No one wants to participate in the challenge. Like, but people need to trust you and that you're not going anywhere in a month, because who wants to have a coach that's like half in, half out? Like if you're invested and you're consistent, you know, that's when it starts to happen. People know me now. Now they know I'm not fucking around. I'm here next month. I'm doing the challenge next month. I'm doing it next month. So I'm not going to run away next month, you know? And that's, I think, what I've seen the most about inconsistency with, you know, coaches overall. Are you posting one day and then you're disappearing for a week, and then maybe you're like, oh, this shake, and then you're disappearing? You know, that's part of like the vital behavior is consistency. Like be that person that is showing up every day. And I think even the small stuff every day, it leads up to much bigger things, you know? And if you guys don't know about the 4 vital behaviors, like number 1, it's just being a product of the product, you know, be on your own journey. Like she said, like have your own success, work out every day, like do good things for yourself. I think that's like the greatest thing about this job is like your kind of job is to work out and to be healthy. And then number 2 is personal development. Like that's something sounds great. I can read like amazing quotes for 15 minutes. And then inviting, like people need to know that you do have something to offer them. So I think that's also like, I felt the same way as you, Anne, at the beginning. I was like, people need to see me, but they also were watching me and they didn't know I had anything to offer them. They're just like, oh, look at Jamie's like getting her results and seeing this and that, but they didn't necessarily know I had much to offer them. And I think if the more you invite and the more you're comfortable, and you guys, I get it, it's unfucking comfortable. Like it really is at first. But the more you
Jamie,
do
it's
it.
Brenna.
Oh, hi, Brenna.
Hi. I have a question going off of that. So one of my issues that I've been facing is so many people are so curious on like what I'm doing and everything. And I obviously I'm so devoted to Beachbody. I love it. But everyone's like, once I tell them about Beachbody and Shakeology, they're just hesitant because of the brand. They're like, well, that's so old school. Like now there's Soul Cycle. And like I told my mom when I was doing it, she's like, well, I have a Peloton bike. And like, I don't need that. So I guess like that's what my difficult like situation has been so far.
So I think that you're going to get that. You're going to get the objections. You're going to get the money and the this. Like that's absolutely just a not natural part of the business in any sense. I hear that at Soul Cycle too. Like there's this, there's that. But I think you have to have a passion for what we're doing. That's number 1. Like she said, your energy and your passion for all of this is going to be reflective over what people think about it. You know, so if you're like, oh, just it's like some shake I'm drinking, like it's good for you. Like really you have to educate people in what this does do. So when you think about what these challenges are, whether you've been a part of them for 1 minute or 5 months, like this is a community of people that are working together. Like people love that. I mean, that's why I have challenges that are like, can I do your next one? Can I do the next one? Like people need that. So, you know, if they want to do Peloton, that's fine. But it's the nutrition. Yeah. You know, I say to people when I get that, like, no, I just want the workouts. I'm like, okay, well, the nutrition is 85% of your results. Like, you want to get more comfortable explaining and being able to feel confident in what we have to offer. And I think that just comes with time. And the more you do it and the more you hear no and the more you try to explain to people, the more comfortable you're going to feel like you have gold, because we do. I mean, I don't know if you guys realize that, but like this opportunity for people is huge. Whether you've seen one person transform or I've seen hundreds at this point, it's something that you can provide to people that really is a huge solution to a lot of people's issues. Like, so there will be objections. Know that that's like a very normal part of inviting. But I'll also tell you that probably 85% of the objections I got 3 months ago, they're no longer objections because now they're here. Now they're coming at my door, you know? So write those people down, you know, keep track of those people that are saying no, and you like re-invite them in a month or in 2 months. You know, you have to keep track of all of the people that you're talking to and just know that those people like my coach always said this from day one. She said, a no is just a not right now. And at first I was like, okay, I don't believe you. And now I've seen that so much. I mean, there's not one person that months ago, like hasn't come around now because they see I'm consistent. I'm getting everyone else results. Like they're seeing what I'm posting and they're like, oh, okay, I guess this is working, you know? So the naysayers are just because they don't really believe or trust you just yet. And that's normal when you're just starting, you know?
I think, Jamie, I have the same type of question, but more about coaches. I have a lot of people who are in the fitness industry who are kind of like interested in coaching, but I just feel like I don't know enough yet to be like, yeah, so here's what's going down, like here's all the details. So I feel weird being like the keeper of the information when I don't have the information.
Well, trust me, that's like how I felt, and I still feel like that right now. Let me just tell you, like, I mean, there's however many people on this call, and I feel the same way because I'm like, oh fuck, like I don't know if I have all the answers because I don't. And that's kind of how it's built. We're going to learn it together.
Yeah.
We're going to grow this together. If you guys are by my side in a year from now, we're going to be taking this pretty far. So it's like, we're learning together. And, you know, I was really skeptical to share this with anyone because I was like, I don't know everything. I don't know this. I don't know that, but we will get the answers, you know, if you don't know them right now, we're going to learn them. And so whatever, like same with you guys, if you come to me with questions, I'm like, I call Megan, I'm like, okay, help me with this. So there's all the answers are there, and whether you know them or not, they will get answered. You know?
Okay.
So don't feel like you don't know enough, you guys. I still feel that every single day because when you guys have questions for me, I'm like, holy fuck. Like, and I talk to my coach all the time because I have questions for her. So I want you guys to ask questions. That makes me feel like you want to know and you're invested. And, you know, I don't want to bug you, of course. Like I don't care really what you do with your business. It's your business, you know? So I want you guys to like want to grow your business in a way that you have questions and you want to know. And if I don't know the answer, I'm going to figure it out. And, you know, don't feel like you can't text me 100 times a day or send me an email with all your questions. Cause like, you don't have to know everything you're not supposed to, and neither am I, and neither is Megan, but there's thousands of people in our network and in this team who the answers are there, and we will provide them with the resources, you know?
Totally.
So that was a huge roadblock. I didn't become Emerald, which means I didn't have 2 coaches for like 3 months or 5 months because I wouldn't invite anyone because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And she was like, just relax, invite people. We're going to learn together. We're going to build this together. And this is me telling you guys right now, like by no means am I at the top. Of course, I've been doing this for 6 months and I don't know everything, but I want to know everything. I want to build this and, you know, hopefully we can all do it together or whoever wants to, you know? So if you're not being a student, I don't know, some of you guys are, some of you guys aren't. That is number one. Like be a student, find the answers, ask me, ask questions. You know, that's how this business will grow. It's not just, I can't like feed everything, but there is everything out there, you know? So, you know, if you don't have the answer, look online. If the answer's not online, ask me. I'm going to ask Megan. So like the answers will all be solved. And don't feel like you have to know everything before you can keep advancing, you know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Does anyone else have questions? Like, please ask questions. I love it. Who feels like they're being paralyzed by fear? Honestly, very honest question. Anybody? Okay. Alex, Dawn, a little bit.
I do.
Okay.
Stephanie.
Is that Brenna? Who is that?
No, it's Stephanie.
Oh, hi. Oh my God. I couldn't.
Hi. Sorry, I called in and not on the Zoom call.
Oh, no, that's okay. I just didn't even know you were here because it just says your phone number. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So, I mean, you just have to, that was the biggest thing for me, you guys. Like I was literally like throwing up every day. Like I was so sick about this whole thing because my goal was like up here, you know, like so high and my actions were not there. Like I wasn't doing anything because of the fear. And I was like, all right, how am I going to get over this? Like, I can't just like have a goal and like be here with it. Your actions have to meet your goal. So I started listening to podcasts. I started doing, you know, there's a lot of things out there on the fear. And I was like, I just started kind of trying to train myself, and I still do it because if you think I put up a post and I don't have like a little mini heart attack, you're wrong. Like I still do. It's just, are you willing to work past the fear? Those are the people that are successful, you know, not just in this business, but in life. Like everybody has fear. Everybody has insecurity. You know, no one's like born just like confident about every aspect of their life. And I think you got to do the research and you got to fill up yourself. Like that's how I'm getting over my fear of everything I'm doing. I have a fear of being a leader even, you know, that is a fear to me. So I'm learning how to do it, and I'm trying to be a student and grow. And, you know, so I think that's part of it, is like the fear is something that I and nobody else can like help you with. And it's something that only you're going to be able to kind of work through. So you kind of have to know that it's there. You have to know that every other person in this industry or in the world has it. And are you willing to work at it, kind of thing, and go outside of your comfort zone? Like we're going to all be uncomfortable. This is, you know, Dawn, your kid is so cute, by the way.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have questions? Like, you know, I want to hold these, you know, team calls every week. I want to try to get more speakers on here and more information to you guys. I'm working on trying to build a new coach basics that's like a little more dated, but that's obviously taking some time. So I'm trying really hard to give you guys everything that I think you'll need, but at the same time, I think the actions, they have to meet the goal. So if your just goal is to make like $100, then that's okay. Your actions might be a lot smaller than if you're trying to build this business and hustle hard, then your actions have to meet it. And that's, you know, that doesn't mean taking 3 hours out of your day. Like there are people that build this business in 30 minutes a day. So you just have to learn how to work smart. And, you know, if you guys don't know those 4 vital behaviors, that's what it is. That's how, if you look at all the top coaches, 4 vital behaviors they're doing every day, they're making $1 million 5 years later. Like that's it. It's not a hard business. It's just duplicating what everybody else is doing and making it your own. You know, every person on here has a story, you know, like every single person on here. And for me, that was a hard thing, is figuring out what my story was and like what I have to offer people and how people can relate to me. And the more vulnerable I'm being and opening, I realize how many people I can touch, you know. It's not just like, here guys, like I'm doing this, let me be your coach, here's a 21-day challenge. Like there's so much more to the value of it. And if you can try to dig a little bit deeper into what it's done, whether it's giving you $100, whether it's giving you a body that you wanted, whether it's giving you a community, like there's more to it than like 5 pounds to lose. You know what I'm saying? So you have to dig a little bit deeper into that. And I'm trying to get that with the challengers too, is like, you don't just want to lose 5 pounds. Why do you want to lose 5 pounds? You want to feel good. You want your boyfriend to, you know, your husband to want, you know, whatever it is. There has to be like a more of a deeper why than just like this. And I want to lose 5 pounds. I want to make $100, you know, and I think that's a huge thing that I've been wanting everyone to focus on, is like, what is your why in this? If you don't know what it is, then like that's something to dig deeper. For me, I told Niki, I don't know if you guys heard, like I'm trying to stay at home in a couple years, make a lot of money for my family, and, you know, have my kids be a like stay-at-home mom. And that's my why. Like that's what I want. I'm not going to be a fitness instructor forever. So I just want you guys to like really pinpoint your why and what it is. And I'm not saying it has to be what that is. Like your why could be just having a good time and filling your cup up by doing this. That's fine. You know? Questions? Any other questions? No? Okay. Well, I mean, I want you guys to like, this is a team. Like, I don't want you guys, I don't know. I just want everybody to get to know each other and have us work together, because, you know, you guys have different skills that I don't have. So I want you to offer something to me, you know, like Natalie. I don't know if she's on this call. Natalie, are you here? I don't know if she is. You know, she sent me recently, she's a coach, but she sent me like this document, and she sent me an email back being like, I think this email would be better for us to send to challengers. Like, you guys, this is your business just as much as it is my business. So just because I'm giving you stuff, like if that's not working for you, then you change it. You know, my coach does some stuff and I'm like, I don't think so. Like, I'm not going to do that. You know, so take what I say in the training that I say for like what it is, but you don't have to do what I'm telling you to do. You have to create your own. You're like the CEO now, you know? add your own style, be your own person. Like, obviously do the behaviors that you're supposed to do, but do it in your own way. My coach told me to post 3 to 5 times on social media, which means like an actual post, not a story. And I looked at her and I was like, that's not going to happen, because that's not where we're at in these day and ages. Like, if someone's posting 5 times, like, I knew that right away. And I was like, no, not going to do it. So just know that, like, I'm trying to help you guys, but you have to also take the ownership and the leadership and that kind of role of like, okay, here's all the resources to build your own business. What do you want to do with it? How are you going to do it? You know? Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Any other questions? So I don't know if you guys, I mean, I'm running another challenge March 5th. Obviously anybody's welcome to bring people in, but they do get really cluttered. Like, it starts to get to too many people, because I'm really building this also. So if you're someone that's like a couple months in and you're still bringing a couple people in, I would think maybe we could group you guys together, you know, and maybe run a group with 4 of you guys as coaches or something, and have 3 or 5 people each, and start to take a little bit more ownership. I'm fine for the next challenge if you guys want to bring people in mine, but just in the future, like, start thinking about, okay, look at Jamie's post. You know, I posted something about the nutrition, the containers. So then maybe you'll say, okay, I'm going to make my own video about that. Like, the people you bring into this want to see you do it, not me. You know, they don't know me. I mean, unless they do, but so that's what I did to get started. I was like, all right, next month I'm going to run my own challenge group. Even if there's 3 people or 5 people in it, I'm going to just make my own videos. So every day or whatever, I would watch what my coach was doing, and I would make my own videos. So just start to think about that moving forward. If you guys want to eventually really start to build this, you know, try to take more of it into your own hands, you know. And like, if you guys want to pair up and be like, let's, you know, Brenna and Natalie did that. They were like, okay, I could probably get 5 or 8 people. And now they have a challenge going next group. They don't know what they're doing, but they're just like, okay, Jamie's posting.
No idea.
You know what? Yeah. Like, you got to just kind of start. And that was how I felt at the beginning too. I was like, I don't know how to run a challenge. And now they're getting better because I'm doing it. So I think you only can get better if you try it, and you try to do things, and you try to, you know, take things into your own hands. But obviously, you know, I want to help you guys so you can bring people in, but just know, if you're going to start building, you want to start holding your own challenges. And like, so, if anyone doesn't know about Summit, I don't know if a lot of you guys do. It's a huge conference in June. And if you are hitting Success Club, you can win a free trip to Summit. If you hit Success Club in the first 3 months of your business, you'll get a free trip. And it's a huge, huge conference in Indianapolis that like all the coaches go to. They do huge events, and it's supposed to be really cool. So I'm excited to go this year, but I would love if anyone wants to come. And so basically all you have to do is hit Success Club, and that's helping 3 people every month, which, like, to me, that sounds like pretty easy. Like, if you're doing anything in this business, you should help people, right? And that's 3 people a month, which, you know, shoot for the skies. Try to get Success Club 15 or 20 or whatever. Natalie has Success Club 22 in her first month, and all, like, Natalie, are you even here? I can't tell. Okay, she's not. But, you know, she's just been sharing, and I've been watching that, and it's like she's showing up every day, and that's really what this is about. So, you know, I've heard a couple people call me and they say, like, I don't know if this is working, and it's only not working if you're not working. So there's no one size fits all in this business. And if you start to look at all the top coaches, like, they look like different things. They are different things. They've had different careers. So just know that, like, just because I'm like a fitness instructor doesn't mean that's your thing. And it's not supposed to be. Like, you can be successful at this in your own way, you know? Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, well, please, you guys, I'm here to help you. I want to help you. I want to run with you. Like, I'm running, so I want to run with you. And let me know, like, what questions, what I can give you. Do the research. Like, I'm posting on the team page the National Wake Up Calls. Those are, you can download the podcast and just listen to bang, bang, bang. Like, I listened to every single one there was when I was first starting. Like, that's the stuff that will pump you up. That's the stuff will help you. You know, I can't tell you everything because I've only been doing this for 6 months, but all the top coaches on there, I put a list of them, like follow them, look at their YouTubes. They have every single thing you could ever want to know about this business is out there. So just if you're like wanting to take it to the next level, then you got to take it to the next level, you know? Make sense? Okay. So I really hope we can all keep doing these team calls. We're going to focus on something, you know, every week. If you guys are having something that you're working through, like we can focus on that in the following week. So I want this team page that we have, this Facebook page, like you guys are posting too. Like this is not just me. I don't want to post, and like it should be a community. And I mean, I'm sure I've invited you guys to bigger team page, which is like hundreds of people. So just be participants. Like this is a big team and everyone's here to support each other. So just know that like I'm not just trying to talk to myself. And like I see, you know, 15 people look at it and 0 people comment. I'm like, okay, crickets. Like, so I'm really excited about everything that is this business and you guys that you're even on this team and you want to do this. So let me know what pace you want to take it at, how I can help you advance. Like I'm here for you guys. So I'm working really hard on trying to get a new coach basics that we can pass on to down and down. So hopefully we'll have that in the next couple weeks, but just like be a student, guys. It's all out there and it's just how much you want to learn in the shower, doing laundry, when you're driving to school, when your kid is napping. Like there are pockets of the day. Like if you say you don't have time, it's the same thing as your challengers saying they don't have time to work out. Like you do. Everyone has time. We just have to prioritize what's important, you know?
Totally.
So thank you guys for hopping on. I hope that was informative and I hope you guys like got some inspiration from her because she's insane. If you want to follow her, I think she's like hold on. Her thing is Niki Whiting, or she's a really good person to follow. I also posted in the team page, like my top 5 people that I love to follow. Hold on. Her thing is, let's see. Niki. It's Niki Whiting, the Fit Wife. So, you know, she's a good person to follow just because she posts really good posts and I just like get little ideas from her. And if I see someone posting something and it's a good idea, I'll take snippets of it. Like this is just a business of duplication. And if you're willing to take things and run with them, then we will all be successful. And we will be here in 2 years having a different call with 80 faces on here. Cool?
Cool.
All right,
Yes,
guys. Thank you so much, you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Let me know if you have questions
Bye.
at any time.
All right.
Bye,
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Okay.